Hello everyone, myself Dr. Payal Tripathi. I am working with UN Meta Institute since last 14 years. Now today our topic is biochemistry introduction. To know what is biochemistry, first of all we must know what is the definition of biochemistry. That means clinical biochemistry. That is a branch of laboratory medicine, we all know. And in this laboratory medicine branch, we study chemical and biochemical methods to identify any disease. Now what is disease? Disease means that is a disorganized functions of our organ. So as per WHO, World Health Organization, health is a state of complete well-being of mental, physical and social health. So it's not only related to our physical health, it is also related to our mental and social health also. Biochemistry can also be divided in some other branch, that is inorganic biochemistry, organic biochemistry, molecular biology, immunohistochemistry, neurochemistry also. Okay, so this is what all about brief introduction of biochemistry. Some factors that affect our health. These factors are some biological factors that are viruses, bacteria, fungi and protozoa. Some toxic agents, some chemicals, some drugs, they also can affect our health and causes diseases. Some endocrine conditions, autoimmune condition also, some genetic condition, oxygen deficiency also that can hamper our health. Now what are the uses of this biochemical test? This biochemical test, if we go to any doctor with some complaint, they will prescribe you some investigations. This investigation is to diagnose some disease. Diagnose to disease, that means to find out what kind of disease you are going through. So first use is for the diagnosis. Second use, if you are diagnosed, take an example, if you are diagnosed as in some thyroid illness, the physician give you some treatment for thyroid illness. Then they monitor you after some time. They repeat your test after 2 or 3 months to find out what is the effect of your drug. That means it is useful for the monitoring point of view. Third thing, it can be used for some screening point of view. Nowadays the COVID-19 is going on. To identify if asymptomatic patient is COVID-19 positive, there is some surveillance, serosurveillance has been going on. That is, we call it as a screening point of view. It is very useful. Now prognosis. Prognosis means what is the status of candidate after few years. Means is this disease is very critical for the patient or not. That is to identify what is the severity of disease. It is very useful in biochemical tests. Other uses of biochemical tests, that is in the research, in clinical trials. Okay, now take some example. Like if one patient, this is one slide which shows one patient having blood sugar that is 110, which is normal. Urea, which is slightly higher side, that is 62. Even creatinine, that is higher side, 1.8. So we can take this patient, first of all, in the screening, we just identify this patient in some health checkup. That is a screening of this patient. Now we diagnose that patient may have some illness in his kidney. Now we can give treatment according to the severity of the disease and find out what is the prognosis of this patient. Okay, now we will take few examples of biochemical and immunological tests. My most common examples, that is blood sugar level, fasting blood sugar, postprandial, that is PPBS, and random blood sugar level. Second thing, renal function test. These are very common investigation we are performing on the day-to-day basis. Renal function test, we can also call it RFT. In RFT, urea, creatinine, sodium, potassium and chloride. These main 5 investigations are there. Apart from that, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, uric acid we can also do. The other thing, that is liver function test, LFT, short form is LFT, that is bilirubin direct, total, indirect, SGPT, SGOT, alkaline phosphatase and total protein and albumin and globulin ratio. Okay, now the third thing, as it is in cardiac institute or in the health checkup also, we are doing lipid profile on very regular basis. In lipid profile, total cholesterol, LDL, HDL and triglyceride. Main 4 investigations are there. Apart from that, we took a ratio of LDL, HDL and a total cholesterol also. Some cardiac profile that tests are include CPK-MB, CPK total and troponin I. CPK troponin I also and troponin T also. Some pancreatic enzyme they are also included in biochemical test. They are amylase and lipase, which are common investigations. Other tests I have already said, that are magnesium, calcium, uric acid and phosphorus. Now take some examples of hormones. Thyroid profile, that means thyroid function test. We can also call it a TFT. That include T3, T4, TSH, free T3, free T4 and TSH, anti-thyroid antibodies. Now some hormones which is related to anterior pituitary. These are the different gland of our body. One is thyroid gland, second is pituitary gland. In pituitary gland, the front portion, that is known as anterior pituitary. The hormones which is related to anterior pituitary are growth hormone, prolactin, LH, FSH, ACTH also. Now some hormones which is related to posterior pituitary. Posterior pituitary, that is ADH, antidiuretic hormone, and oxytocin. Okay, some hormones which are related to adrenal glands. Adrenal gland, that is cortisol, epinephrine, norepinephrine and serotonin. Some hormones which are related to reproductive organs like gonads, that is testosterone, progesterone, estrogen and human chorionic gonadotropin (HCG), which is present in pregnant female. Other hormones, that is insulin, proinsulin, C-peptide and renin are also there. Now take some examples of tumor markers. They are CEA, that is common or carcinoembryogenic antigen, which is for the diagnosis of squamous cells malignancy. Some alpha fetoprotein, CA125, CA15.93 is also there. Okay, these are all biochemical investigations examples. Now take other thing in biochemical investigation. What are the variation we will find in the results? That means whether this variation either it is analytical or it is and biological variation. What do you mean by analytical variation? Analytical variation means analysis, that means a testing of a sample. So some variation during testing we will find out, and some are biological, that is within, because of the person, because of the person's age, because of person's gender, results are affected. So we can take two ways. It is an analytical variation or it is a biological variation. These are the variation, but we can also have some errors. Errors are, you can say, that's our mistake. We can do some mistake in biological investigations. They are also analytical errors, that means analytical mistakes. They are pre-analytical, before analysis. What is before analysis? Before analysis, we took blood samples of the patient. So during taking samples, we can also do some mistakes. So these are our pre-analytical errors. And third is post-analytical errors. If the pre-analytical way, the analytical, both are correct, but post-analytical, that means to enter the result in our software, to find out the results through our instrument, if that is a wrong way, or we will do some mistake in that, these are included in post-analytical error. Okay, now we will go turn by turn from the analytical variation. In analytical variation, to understand the result is perfect or not, first of all we must understand few terminology like sensitivity, specificity, precision and accuracy. Being a technician, you must know what do you mean by precision or accuracy. Okay, if I'll take some sample and find out what is the creatinine level or sugar in that sample, that means I am finding some concentration from the liquid solution. As per biochemistry rule, the concentration is depend on two ways, whether it is solute or solvent. Now what is solute? Solute, if in the sugar, water sugar, the sugar which is added in the water, here sugar is solute and solvent is water. So the concentration is depends on both, what is the solute and what is the solvent. Okay, now what is precision? Precision means if I repeat test again and again in a short span, the results must come in the acceptable range. That means reproducibility of an analytical method has to be is detected by precision. Okay, let's take example of this graph. In the first chart, it shows the results, the center, that is an actual value. If I perform the results 5 times, all the results are on the different circle. That means results is very imprecise. It is not precise. Okay, in the second chart, you can see the results, all results, they are very near to each other. That means the results have good precision. Okay. Now, what is accuracy? There is a difference between precision and accuracy. Accuracy means if the results, known results is, take an example, if sugar results is 90, then if our instrument gives results 90.1 or an acceptable range up to 90.2, then it is accurate. If that instrument gives result rather than 90, 180 or something, some observed variable, that is not accurate in that particular test. So in this graph, the second middle graph shows the results are very precise, but they are not accurate, so they are inaccurate because the center circle suggests, center dot suggests it is an accurate value of that results. Now the third circle, that shows the results is also very precise and accurate too. After understanding what is precision and accuracy, precision means if we repeat test again and again, the results must come in an acceptable range. That suggests a reproducibility of the method. Accuracy means the results is how near to the actual value. Then what is the difference between sensitivity and specificity of the test? Sensitivity, to understand sensitivity, let's take an example of HbSAg. If patient is having hepatitis B, HbSAg, for that we are doing HbSAg, hepatitis B surface antigen. If HbSAg comes positive, the cutoff is 1. 1, that means if results is less than 1, then it is negative. If it is more than 1, then it is negative or positive. If results come 1.2, it shows positive. That means just 0.2 results higher than the cutoff, it shows positivity. The method is very sensitive. So the sensitivity suggests how little of analyte the method can detect. That means the method can measure very low concentration of analyte too. We have taken already examples of hepatitis B surface antigen, HbSAg. Now then, what is the difference between sensitivity and specificity? Specificity, let's take again examples of HbSAg. If HbSAg is very sensitive, if 1.2, that comes positive, but it is not specific for that method if patient is not having HbSAg and even though it shows a positive result. That means method is sensitive, but the method is not specific for HbSAg. It can be because of any other virus too. So the specificity suggests any interference of other substances are there or not. That is the way to differentiate specificity and sensitivity. Okay, now some factors, they are biological variations. As I already told you, some variations, that is analytical variation, second is biological variation. In biological variations, factors that can determine biological variation, first thing, that is gender. In male and female, few results are different for the male and the female. As per age, in neonates or in the child, in adult agehood and in the elderly patient, some results have a different normal range as per their age. Third thing, that affected by diet. If I am giving sample of blood sugar, fasting blood sugar, and my diet, I am coming with the diet, then results may be affected by my diet, whatever I have taken. The fourth thing, that is time, at what time we have collected the sample. That means for fasting or for cortisol or for thyroid analysis, we have to take a fasting sample. Even in lipid profile, we have to take samples in a fasting stage. In that case, timing of blood samples is very important. Okay, now what is the fifth point? Nowadays, stress and anxiety, which is very common. So, stress and anxiety level that affect many hormones of our body. Same way, posture of a patient. At the time of blood collection, if patient on a supine position, standing or sitting position, that is affect the results of few parameters, not all. Even the exercise, after exercise, some enzymes like CPK total that is affected with the strenuous exercise. Some medical history like some chronic disease that is also affect some biochemical test. In pregnancy, the normal range is different as per the normal other individuals. In menstrual cycle, some hormone like LH, FSH, they are affected or they are in a different variations. In some drug history also like prothrombin test that is affected by the anticoagulant therapy. Okay, these are the biological variation. We have seen mainly two variations, analytical variation in which we have main four terminology, that is what is precision, what is accuracy, what is sensitivity and what is specificity. We have clear idea what is the difference in these four variations. And the other thing is biological variations. What are the factors that affect biological variation? They have mentioned here. Okay, now they are the variation. Now just jump to the errors. We are not going in the analytical errors. We just first of identify what are the pre-analytical errors. Pre-analytical errors, I have told you, that is at the time of collection. If we have done some mistake, so what kind of mistake we can do? First thing, if we have taken sample and some sampling technique problem is there. That means at the time of sample, we bind this tourniquet very tightly. If the tourniquet is very tight, whatever sample or blood sample they come in the syringe, or if we will take a very fast sample, all the RBCs they can hemolyze. So we can get the hemolyzed sample. So that is first error we can do. What happened if we will perform some test in hemolyzed sample? Take an example for the potassium. Potassium level goes very high if we take done in a hemolytic sample. Now second thing, that is prolonged stasis during venipuncture. If we bind tourniquet very tightly and for a long time, then some analytes like protein and protein binding analytes like thyroxine, calcium, all they are affected because of the stasis of blood, and the whatever serum is there, they are goes in the interstitial space. The third thing, that is inadequate specimen. For any analyze, some particular amount is needed to perform a test. If that is not an accurate amount, we can't perform a test. So the third thing, that is insufficient sample. Same way, timing means error in timing. I have already told you, if we took a sample for lipid profile in a random time after dinner or after a diet, then the results are we got some error in triglyceride level and cholesterol too. Okay, after that, that is incorrect specimen container. For EDTA, we require EDTA we are doing CBC. CBC we are performing through EDTA. We can't perform EDTA in EDTA. We can't perform sodium or potassium because we can get some false results. Or same way, we can't perform CBC from the plain sample. So that is a very important point. For sugar analytes, we have to collect sample in fluoride bulb because fluoride inhibit glycolysis. That means sugar level must maintain if we take in a fluoride bulb. Okay, other things, they are the inappropriate sampling site. That means if patient is indoor, some fluid are going on in some IV drip, like you take a sugar example of glucose or RL is going on in one hand. If I took sample or somebody else took sample from the same side, we might get false result from that sample. So the inappropriate sampling site is also very important. Inadequate sample, I have already told you. Some incorrect specimen storage. if I took samples and perform sugar or any other test after 24 hours and just forgot to do test in that sample, then that might be some error in that sample. Okay, these all are about pre-analytical error. Okay, now to identify whether the results are okay or not, we must have some range of the normal, we can call it as a reference range or a normal range. That means, what is reference range? Any manufacturer or any supplier of reagents, they give some reference range as per the healthy volunteers. They took a large volume of healthy volunteers. They identify 95% of healthy volunteers. Range comes within that reference range. We can call it as a reference range to identify whether the results are higher than the reference range or the lower than that. Okay, now what is false positive result and what is false negative result? You must heard about that. Some clinicians, they said, oh, this is might be false positive. False means there is a mistake to say it is positive. That means patient is negative, but falsely you have given result positive. That means it is false positive. A patient with an abnormal results in biochemical test, but it found to be have no disease or it found to be normal. That is falsely or by mistake you have given a positive result. The same way, that is false negative result. That means patient is having some disease, but you have given a normal report that is not matching with the clinical history. So that might be a false negative results. Okay, this is one example of our lab. Few investigations are there in which just an example of total bilirubin, the result is 0.38 milligram per dl and normal range is 0.2. Whatever normal range is, reference range is there, that is just behind actual value, that is 0.2 to 1.2. That means this patient is having bilirubin level within reference range. Hello student, these are the questions. After this lecture, you have to give this answer to all these questions and submit within 2 days to below mentioned email ID with your name, your course name and your ID. Thank you.